As the title says, this will be my last video of the year. You really shouldn't be surprised. I upload once a week and there's a day left in 2023. We're all packing it up. But before it's all over, I figured on making one last video, so I went and saw Wonka. Full disclosure, I probably wouldn't have seen this movie if I wasn't going to make a video about it. I mean, I already did my top 10 list, so there's a part of me that doesn't want it to change even if I didn't expect it to, but I didn't want the last week of the year to be one I missed out on. And to be fair, my interest was piqued a little when people started saying this movie was good. And then people started saying it was a musical, and at this point I've just got to see what Timmy Chalamet is up to. So I went and watched Wonka, and here it is. My final review of the year, with spoilers. Let's begin. This movie actually has quite a few positives. The entire opening sequence is pretty fun. I even like the song. In case you're wondering, I'll get to the songs later. Wumpus Wonka losing all of his little coins in creative ways was a great way to start, and the last bit where he gives a few to a mother and her child is very accurate to his character. Then afterwards he runs into the best character in the movie, Tom Davis, playing a character named Bleacher. After they have a weird conversation where it kinda seems like Bleacher wants to kill Wonka, he brings our man away to meet the other best one, Olivia Colman playing Miss Scrubbit. The fine print scene is genuinely funny, and so is most of the stuff they do for the rest of the movie. I like it a lot. In general, I'd say the comedy is shockingly one of my favorite parts. The visual gags that sometimes transcend reality go further than I thought a movie like this would go. Plus, Timothy Chocolate Boy actually sells a good amount of them with the right delivery. He's still a bit too cute and normal to seem like Willy Wonka, but he's got the spirit, and he's not nearly as bad as the trailer makes him out to be. Unfortunately, I think the movie reaches its first hurdle when it introduces the gang. After Willy gets swindled by Mrs. Scrubbit, he ends up in the detention room from Amazing World of Gumball, where we meet 4 random people who've been duped the same way, as well as a little girl we met earlier named Noodle, like from Gorillaz. And I'd like to say that these are good characters, because they are fun and likable, but Noodle ends up getting a shit ton of time in the spotlight, while the rest get table scraps. I especially think the 2 women of the group could have gotten more development. Piper, played by Natasha Rothwell, seems to have a solid relationship with Noodle herself, but it's never touched on. And Lottie, played by Rocky Thakrar, has the briefest, tiniest little plot about her being shy at the beginning of the movie, then plays a background role for the rest. It makes it hard for me to really care about their one-sentence descriptions. In the end credits, fucking Larry Chucklesworth got 2 sentences. These ladies got screwed over. In case you're wondering, Noodle herself is fine. She's good enough as a little sidekick. Her personality is a bit all over, but her motivations and her ending with her mom are both sweet. She's likable, and she contributes to Wonko's character in a way that makes sense. He loves helping kids. Give him a kid to help. To round out the main cast, there's the villains, a trio a la Fantastic Mr. Fox, and all of them are good enough as well. I enjoyed their dumb villain song and their line dance with Key and Michael Key, who has some funny bits by the way. But I couldn't care less about them as actual characters. I appreciate that they're just actually fucking insane about this candy business though, attempting to murder Willy within the first 20 to 30 minutes of the movie. The final character to discuss, of course, is the Hugh Grant Oompa Loompa, who is about exactly what you'd expect. He's enjoyable for what he is, a stupid little orange man. While this cast is able to carry a lot of the film, I still have a few issues with other parts of the movie, namely the music and the story. The music is weird to me because I don't particularly dislike it. In fact, I've mentioned twice now that I've enjoyed some of the songs, but, and I don't know how else to describe it, they're kind of like jump scares. This movie wasn't marketed as a musical, and even knowing that it was gonna be one due to other people's reactions, I was shocked when the movie opened with a song. And somehow, it doesn't get any less strange. Every time that a song shows up, it feels so out of nowhere, because there's not enough to fully call it a musical, and plus, none of them feel that necessary. There's a moment when Noodle is teaching Willy how to read, which is sweet, but for some reason it's in song form, and I was just baffled as to why. There's another moment where the two are in the zoo with a giraffe, and a song just starts in the middle of their conversation. It actually caught me off guard. While the music isn't a big problem, I never really settled into it, and only a few are really that memorable. I also mentioned the story as a negative, and this is mainly towards the end. I don't really need my Willy Wonka story to have a bunch of twists and turns, but once the factory burns down, which by the way happened in about 20 seconds, I knew how the rest would play out beat for beat, and I'm not even good at that. I'll often be going crazy over some twist in a movie and look at reviews and see that nobody gives a damn because they all saw it coming. But this time, I saw the 3 villains eat the chocolate, and my first thought was that they were going to float up like at the beginning of the movie. and I saw Noodle and Wonka get fucking murdered by chocolate, and my first thought was that the Oompa Loompa was gonna come save them, and he does that really quick. So personally, while the end of the film is nice and sweet, it feels pieced together from multiple other stories that I've seen. Like, how many times have you seen the long estranged parent and child reunite at the end of the movie? With this being a prequel to an incredibly off-the-wall and creative tale, I just wish it was more unique. I'll deal with the predictability because many of the most fun movies out there have that, but some of the story beats along the way could have been so much more if they were more inventive. With all this put together, I think Wonka averages out to be a solid 6 out of 10 movie. To be honest, I was thinking a 7 for a bit there, but 6 isn't bad, not at all, especially when I thought this movie would be horrible. It's a nice, feel-good Christmas watch with the family that honestly might work better if all the lights are on and you're barely paying attention, but hey, sometimes that'll be the vibe you're looking for. Without movies specifically meant to be watched on airplanes, where would we be in life? So that'll wrap up the actual movie review, but I would like to make a quick statement about the year. This has been my first year creating videos, and it really is great. Sure, I'm a 77 subscriber channel, but taking this dive has made my interest in film an even bigger part of my life. I'm sure I'll be here in the new year with a new review, so if you want to subscribe, you can do that, but if you just heard me talk, that's cool too, because I sure do love it when people listen to me. I've got genuine ideas that I've been holding on to for a while, that I might finally go for in 2024, so you should stay tuned. Trust me, there's better things coming for this channel than Fruity Willy Wonka. Bye now.